Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Devontae, and I sacrificed my time so you don't have to. I promise you, that video that I put out earlier today, that was supposed to be the only video I was going to put out, man. I was planning on relaxing, and I did. I got the majority of relaxation in. Today's my day off. I wanted to chill, and as a matter of fact, I said to myself, fuck it. I ain't got to go to work till tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning. Let's get a good night's rest. And I still am going to get that good night's rest. I got a good solid, about a good 9 hours to get some sleep. Took a shower and everything. I promised you I was going to go to bed early. And then this popped up on my notification. Like, God was like, Devontae, wait. Bring your black ass back here, boy, before you go to bed. You going to talk about this subject. And look, I purposely... come on, bro. I run a wrestling channel. You don't think I didn't see the NXT numbers? You don't think I didn't see the AEW numbers? I purposely am trying my best to stay away specifically from these numbers right here. Fuck AEW. I'm gonna talk about them in a minute, but in particular the NXT number. They got 895,000 views, right? And I said to myself, man, you know what? It was the CW network, and like that's a huge number. But then at the same time, the facts are facts. They had the presidential debate between JD Vance and Tim Waltz, and that got like over 40 million views. And to be honest with you, I looked at it like this, and this just tells, hey, this is what I mean when I talk about football and all that other kind of stuff. Bruh, you don't think I didn't want to watch the Tim Waltz and JD Vance? Of course I watched that shit. As soon as NXT was over with, I went directly over there. I watched it through the Daily Wire. Of course, absolutely. All you had to do was just rewind back. It was on demand. It's on YouTube. Of course I watched it. But like most wrestling fans, if you want to watch the product, you're going to watch the product. But I looked at it like, okay, you know, is this a fluke number? Let me not talk about it. You know what I mean? 895,000. Of course, that's an amazing number for NXT. But I'm like, let me see them do it again. And then we'll start making them a part of the conversation as far as the subject is considered, right? But I thought this was a fluke, even though they went up against the vice presidential debate. But, hey, credit is due. But I said to myself I wasn't going to do it until this popped up on X. And this is what I mean, bruh. The bias. To the extent sometimes, bruh, I know I shit on WWE fans for being hypocrites, which they are, as far as the criticism argument is considered. But you know what? Sometimes I can kind of see where y'all come from, bro. I can actually see where y'all come from sometimes. The tribalist is so deep in AEW, it just gets on my fucking nerves, bro. There is no WWE fan who's this tribalist. No. As a matter of fact, one may even argue that there are some WWE fans who don't like the product as is. There are some people who would say that they love Raw, but they're not too fond of SmackDown, and they don't even watch NXT. There are some people who watch SmackDown who aren't too fond of the long format of Raw at the time, who don't watch NXT, and there are people who watch NXT and they hate SmackDown and Raw. There is more divide within WWE than there is in AEW. They can actually hold their own accountable, at least more so than the AEW fans. But Dave Meltzer put out this tweet, and this is just so fucking unbelievable, bro. The excuses. This man said AEW did 680K, a 0.20 in the 18 to 49 demographic. Then he goes on to say, going 30 minutes long overrun hurts. No shit, dumbass. No shit. But it's this part right here that kills me. And it's like, you know what, WWE fans? Okay, I gotta put my hands up and back up. I see why y'all go after these. I see why y'all go after these jokes for, bro. I see why y'all go after the AEW. You can't give them any room, bro. This man said +2 baseball playoff games and larger than usual news ratings. It was their 5th anniversary, bro. This was a huge show. Their 5th year anniversary. What the fuck? You thought to yourself that Will Ospreay and Ricochet and Bryan Danielson and Okada would have draw. It's so obvious what's going on here. So let me get this straight, bruh. Was there any excuse to be said when NXT got 895,000 views against JD Vance and Tim Waltz? Because if 41 million fans tuned in, now I can tell you, I'm one of the people who tuned in to Waltz and Vance after NXT. But that was because that's the channel that I run. I gotta cover NXT in real time, obviously. But if I wasn't covering NXT in real time, I would have done the same thing. I would have watched NXT first because no matter how I feel about politics, wrestling always comes first above politics. I would have most likely watched NXT first and then just came back and watched On Demand Vince. And hell, knowing me as a matter of fact, I probably would have, because I had to go to work that night. So 9 times out of 10, knowing me, if it wasn't for the fact that I needed something to listen to, I probably would have just watched the Daily Wire the next day and just listened to Ben Shapiro break the shit down for me, honestly. But NXT would have came first. Make it make fucking sense, my dude. So you sit here and you're gonna sit here and tell me that the 895,000 number of you, is there a post out there? I want to know the post that Dave Meltzer posted saying that, oh, well, with the JD Vince thing going on, like, I would have, let me click on this motherfucker's timeline. Hell no, bro. I want to know. Did he post anything on this? Let's go back. This motherfucker posts so many goddamn tweets. Where are we? We're in, it's Thursday, right? So this would have been yesterday, right? Hang on for a second. I'm gonna find this son bitch in real time. We're gonna do this shit in real time. No way. I had to pause it to go look for it. I found the tweet. It was even worse than what I expected. This motherfucker said NXT did 895K, 0.26 last night. Premiere is usually much higher than the show settles in at. Week 3 to 4 is when you really get a better feel for it. So let me get this straight, bro. Hang on. See, me, I'm going to tell you, yeah, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Honestly, he's not wrong. I'm saying the same thing too. I see him at 895K on a CW. Okay, give it a couple of weeks and let me see where they kind of settle in at. I said the exact same thing. He's not wrong about that. I'm not saying anything about him being wrong. What I'm suggesting is, when it was AEW who got 680K, you made an excuse as to why they got 680K. When it's NXT who got 895, not only do you not bring up the JD Vince, and Tim Wallstein, meaning that there's a good possibility that NXT in reality probably could have pulled in 1 million viewers. Call a spade for a spade. Had it not been for the JD Vince and Tim Wall stuff, there's a good possibility. They were only 115K short. They could have put in 1 million viewers on Tuesday had it not been for the debate. But instead of you actually talking about the debate being the reason as to why they got 895K, you suggest, because that's such a high number for NXT, which it is, you downplay it by suggesting the same thing that I'm suggesting, but you didn't have to bring that up. You didn't have to talk about that. You didn't do it for AEW. You didn't do it at all. Period, point blank. You made an excuse for AEW. With NXT, you made it a fucking point to downplay their success. I wonder why that's the case, huh? Could it be that NXT is being directed mostly by WWE? Could it be the fact that you don't have the hand in the cookie jar when it comes to AEW or NXT versus in AEW, your hand-picked favorites, Ricochet, Will Ospreay, Kazuchika Okada, and Bryan Danielson? And mind you, I'm a big fan of Bryan Danielson, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Love me some Bryan Danielson. But facts are facts. Dude ain't no draw. Not without WWE. Without WWE, you see his draw pound as a world champion. Facts are facts, and he's one of my favorite wrestlers. You, on the other hand, he's one of your favorite wrestlers, and you bring up every excuse in the fucking book. And mind you, it's not even to suggest that maybe Dave Meltzer is wrong about baseball. I'm not a baseball fan. Maybe there are some baseball fanatics out there who could tell me what's the likelihood of people who watch baseball watching wrestling. I can see, like with football and basketball, I know there's some crossover between football and basketball. I can tell you, just in my fan base alone, especially football, there's a lot of football fans who are professional wrestling fans. Basketball, I'd probably say coming second. Hell, I will probably argue coming in third is most likely soccer. I got a lot of fans in my audience who love soccer. And then fourth will probably be baseball. I will actually put soccer over baseball, honestly. But like I said, I'm only speaking to my audience and how they talk. I would love to see someone who's an actual baseball fan who would tell me the likelihood of that crossover. And more importantly, how important were the games? Like again, with football, it's an American pastime. People love football. I can understand football taking wrestling numbers away. That's logical. There's crossover with that, obviously. Hell, even with basketball to a lesser degree. But baseball? Not saying that it's not the case, but what I am suggesting is that important that the fans are willing to miss your show to the extent that they dropped. They dropped, Dave. They dropped. What is the excuse for the drop? There were 22. What did they get? What did they get last week? Was it 702,000, right? Something on the lines of that? Or maybe a little bit lower? Somewhere around that ballpark. Between 697,000 to 702,000. It's somewhere in that ballpark. I can't remember the number off the top of my head. But what I am suggesting is they dropped either lower than 20,000 or above or below or lower than 20,000 as far as maybe 15,000 fans or above 20,000. So let's just say between 15,000 to 30,000 fans they lost. Let's just say that. Pretty sure it's more like 15,000 to 22,000. But my point being is, though, you make up excuses for the drop in the number on the 5th anniversary show. Yet, when it comes to NXT, you make up every excuse in the book to downplay what the hell they did in regards to success. Again, these people, man, they out themselves in the end of the day. They make up every excuse in the fucking book, bro. They not only just any excuse in the fucking book, bro. It's always when it's pertaining to their favorites. They'll always play this narrative. They always play this game. Whenever, and this is going out throughout the wrestling community. It pisses me off when the WWE fanboys do this too. When it's something that's affecting their favorite, then all of a sudden all the excuses in the world get made. And I made a video on this about a week and a half ago, man. When I was talking about the cable television numbers, when it was WWE, Raw, SmackDown, and AEW, and all their numbers were going down, I made sure to actually talk about that. And apparently a couple of WWE fanboys got upset and they made a bunch of excuses. Nah, I'm not going to make any excuses. I see the programming, and my question is always going to be, well, it was right here, so why is it right here? Even with the games being on, again, we have a pattern of behavior. You see the second week was at this number. The next week, okay, they dropped. The next week after that, it dropped even further. Where are those fans who were watching when football was on, when they knew it was on? Right now, when football is on, they know it's on. Like, there's no excuse for that to be made. But see, I'm not biased when it comes to this situation as far as calling it out. Hell, I talked about AEW and their contract yesterday. And even though I buried the show because it rightfully deserved to be buried because it was a garbage fucking show last night, I made it a point to not hide the ball, not make any excuses, none of that stuff. I gave credit where credit was due. As a matter of fact, I even said that I was wrong. And I take back what I said in regards to the television deal. And I still hold true to what I said because that's a damn good contract deal. My opinion, some people have a different one. Okay, that's cool. I still think it's a good deal, personally speaking. You know what I mean? I don't know how much they spend on their television in regards to all their shows combined, so I can't tell you their ROI. From what I can tell, it's a substantial boost, which that enough is good enough for me. But Dave can't do that. AEW fanboys, they can't do that. It's always got to be pot shots, left and right. Which is why when I see the WWE fanboys, they get upset at that kind of shit. It's kind of hard not to feel for them a little tiny bit. It's like, yeah, y'all motherfuckers can be hypocritical, but it's at the same time, it's like, are you necessarily hypocritical because, like, oh, well, we are WWE fanboys and we have to stand up towards them, stand up for them against AEW, some cringe shit like this? Or is it because you just recognize the behavior of the AEW fans and it's like, well, fuck, if they're going to do this bullshit, then let's just keep that same attitude then. Because if that happens to be the case, then fuck yeah, ride out then. I get it. Ride out, man. When you got people like Dave Meltzer, you got people all over wrestling in the IWC pulling bullshit like this, man. There's nowhere else to look but to fucking do the same shit that they do. You have Dave Meltzer out here playing double standards between two wrestling companies. Okay, if that's going to be the case, then yeah, I can't really fault anybody who sees shit like that and they say to themselves, well, nah, fuck you, Dave. Fuck you, bro. You make up every excuse in the book and you cope like a motherfucker when it's your home team, but when it's somebody else, you bring up every fucking reason as to why they shouldn't be at that number. Oh no, NXT shouldn't be at the number because this, that, and the third. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. That's some clown show behavior, bro. And he should be ashamed of himself, especially calling himself a fucking journalist, bro. Don't highlight shit like that directly after the number. At least have the common courtesy to just give us the number, and then wait like a day or two, maybe go on your podcast and then talk about it then, bro, so there could be a little bit more clarity, a little bit more context, and you take out all the behavior stuff that you're attaching to the number by putting them both in the same post. How you type that as a journalist and don't see yourself as being completely fucking biased is beyond me. But that's just the lack of self-awareness when it comes to the IWC today, bro. Nobody has any self-awareness whatsoever. Not the WWE fanboys who talk about criticisms when they're the first ones to critique AEW. And by all rights, that's fine. I'm just saying keep that same energy when a person comes after WWE, because I like to hold both companies accountable. But when it comes to the AEW fanboys, they do the same thing times 10, and they go after your family while doing all the same shit, bro. And then you get the fucking people who are clearly on payroll, clearly in the pocket of AEW, if not through money, through influence, which I think is a hell of a lot worse than money, who will sit back here and say all this shit about NXT this and NXT that and NXT this, but at the same time, you just let AEW get away with every fucking thing. That's lame as fuck, man. That's bullshit. That's real bullshit, bro. But that's cool, though. That's why a nigga don't even cite Dave Meltzer anymore, man. Nor should anybody else, because this is the kind of attitude that you're going to get from the man. Only cite him if it's actually talking about a transcript, or only cite him if the news is about him himself, bro. Fucking Christ, bro. I swear to God, man. Dude had his... If Tony Khan's dick was any longer, bro, I swear to God, Dave Meltzer will be dead from suffocation right now, bro. Yo, let me hear your thoughts down in the comment section below in regards to this news. Yo, I'ma say it. Congratulations to NXT for damn near getting 900,000 views. You're doing something that AEW hasn't done at this point in time in a year. We're now in October. The last time they got 900,000 views was in October. Congratulations. You hit a number that AEW hasn't hit in a fucking year. And quite frankly, you probably would have hit 1 million had it not been for the presidential election, something that AEW hasn't done in 2 years. Almost. But Dave Meltzer won't highlight that for you, though. He'll point out every little single thing in the world that has no effects on his wrestling worldview at that point in time. Because when NXT was down on their luck and when they were floundering and nobody cared for the show or any of this shit, you had nothing to say then. But now that they're on top of the world and they're eclipsing your boys AEW, which by the way, if they're on CW, best believe that's probably gonna happen a hell of a lot more often than not. Now all of a sudden it's a bad thing. Clown world, bruh. Straight clown world. My name is Devontae, and I'll be catching you guys later. Deuces, P. Ice.